All right, everyone. A bunch of U.S. naval assets have been moving into the Caribbean region, and the left is desperately praying that Donald Trump is nuts enough to invade Venezuela. They're literally encouraging him to do so. Link in the description, archived, of course. Donald Trump is preparing to invade Venezuela. We should thank him. That's a nutty idea. That's a terrible idea. As I pointed out the other day, with regards to narco trafficking, which is what is happening in the Caribbean, and the left will complain about him striking the narco ships, but then they're trying to get him to physically invade an entire nation. That's not a good idea. While we could underwhelm the Venezuelan military, you would get bogged down with guerrilla warfare. This is an inevitability because Maduro, and he knows this. He's not stupid, although he was just a bus driver before. No offense to any bus drivers out there. I wouldn't want your job because I'd probably crash the bus. Maduro knows that there's always the possibility of Western intervention in his country. After expressing interest in potentially invading Guyana and annexing the Sicabo region there, certainly the United States turned its eye more to the situation. But that's not really our problem. Would I believe that we should intervene and maintain the sovereignty of Guyana should it be invaded? Yeah, although really that should fall more to the British than to us. But should we invade Venezuela proper in order to go after narco trafficking and stuff? We don't need to. The thing is, we've got such a beefy navy, and I think this is what Trump actually has in mind, and that makes me happy. All we have to do is park a few destroyers down there and an aircraft carrier, and we can pretty much lock down the situation. You're not going to be able to run drugs into the United States anymore because we're just going to fire rockets at your ships. And we'll just blow them out of the water and, there may or may not be survivors. Although, it would kind of be more economical if we were to send those ships out and simply, grab them. If we were to take all the drugs and sell them, then we'd be making a lot of money too. We'll just make it clear to Maduro, if you try to send cocaine or something to our country, we're just going to sell it on the open market and, we can end the drug war, take the drugs, and then simply sell them. And it sort of makes sense from an economic standpoint. Those ships do require a lot of money in order to maintain them. Why don't we get a return on investment, this sort of thing going? Otherwise, you can just blow them out of the water. That's perfectly fine too. There's no reason to invade Venezuela, but the left is chomping at the bit, hoping beyond hope that that's actually what Trump is meaning to do. They want an invasion. They want a war. They want Donald Trump to become a wartime president so that he can alienate some of his followers. I would be one of them, by the way, by doing so. They're trying to bait him effectively, more than anything else, if I had to guess. This would be politically non-pragmatic to go to war with Venezuela. I do not like communism. I want to see Maduro's head on a pike. But at the same time, risk versus reward is something that sane people calculate. In this particular instance, what's the benefit of invading Venezuela? You can kill Maduro, you can wipe out his oligarchic system, you can restore some semblance of economic function to the country. But then you have to deal with tens of thousands of heavily armed guerrilla fighters. You'll be bogged down for years, dude. It makes much more sense to simply target the boats that are approaching our territorial waters and just make it clear to Maduro, you're not coming over here at all. You're not going to do jack shit. What are you going to do against a goddamn aircraft carrier, dude? Yeah, you've got an Air Force. Wonderful. You've also got a Navy. But there's nothing you can do against the kind of ships that we're fielding. Well, then he's completely, you can just literally embargo him. All you have to do is drop the ships around the outside of his territorial waters and say anything that tries to cross this line is just going to get blasted into outer space. That's all you have to do. They don't have any carriers. In fact, I don't even know if they have any modern frigates, actually. They've got destroyers and PT boats and stuff like that. not exactly the most impressive navy in the world. We're capable of running a blockade and simply saying nothing's going to go in or out. We're just going to blockade you. You'll have to talk to the Colombians in order to reestablish your supply lines. We don't have to take any military action beyond that. We're fully capable with modern technology of seeing where these fucking boats are. We know they're financed by the Venezuelan government. That much we know. The Venezuelan government allows these trawlers to use the ports and to try to run drugs into the United States. They do this every single day. The former administration, the asterisk administration, never did jack about this. They just didn't care. Oh yeah, come on, man, that white powder back there. Hunter could use some of that. That was basically the way that the government worked. Under the current administration, it's like, nah, we're just going to blow you up. Just keep doing that for a while and they'll get the point. It's not necessary to go to war with Venezuela. The left would fucking love that. It would be a weird situation where people on the left, despite the fact that you're invading a communist regime, would be applauding Trump while goading him on and baiting him with no clear-cut purpose. There's no real intent behind it. There's no reason to do so. Effectively, if you want to stop drugs coming into the United States, all you have to do is target the boats. And that's what Trump is doing. I do not believe that he is inclined to invade Venezuela. And this is good, by the way. This is a good thing. I do not believe that he intends that, but it's quite clear that the left wishes that he would do that. Again, in a hilarious irony. It's quite clear that they want a war with Venezuela. U.S. gets bogged down. You can blame the Trump administration for, various failures, strategic failures in Venezuela, and then call it a day. That's what they're hoping is going to happen. Thankfully, I believe that their hopes are far misplaced. That's about all. Peace out.